ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ jùmọ̀ kọ orin ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àwa ni ògo adúláwọ̀. Lójoojúmọ́ ni mo máa ń sọ pé ìwọ ni èmi ni ẹ̀yin ni àwa ni gbogbo wa pátápátá ni ògo adúláwọ̀. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sí orí ètò ti àṣálẹ́ níbi tí a ó ti máa fi ọ̀rọ̀ jómitóró ọ̀rọ̀ lórí gbogbo ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní orílẹ̀-èdè wa àti pàápàá jùlọ ní àṣálẹ́ ìdí tí a ṣe fẹ́ bá àwọn ewúrẹ́ tò mọ́. Tí a kò bá fẹ́ bá àwọn ewúrẹ́ tò a gbọ́dọ̀ rí dájú pé ibi tá à ń lọ pàápàá a gbọ́dọ̀ kó ewúrẹ́ lọ́bẹ̀. Àwa pàápàá a ò sì gbọ́dọ̀ wọ ewúrẹ́ nítorí pé ìwà tó dáa ìwà ọmọlúàbí ni ó tọ́ sí gbogbo wa. Ohun tó dára ló yẹ ni okun kò yẹ ọmọ adìyẹ. Ẹ káàbọ̀ ẹ káalẹ́ ẹ kú déédéé wòyí èmi ọmọ yín ọ̀rẹ́ yín àbúrò yín olùkú yín mi mọ̀ bóyá ẹ mọ ìtumọ̀ ohun tó ń jẹ́ olùkú. Àwọn tó mọ olùkú pọ̀ àwọn tó mọ olùkú sí wà bákan náà, so ẹni tó bá mọ olùkú kó bá mi kọ olùkú sínú ṣáàtì yẹn kí n mọ̀ pé lóòótọ́ ẹ mọ nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ olùkú. Tẹ́ ẹ bá dẹ̀ mọ nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ olùkú kò sí ohun tá a lè fi ń ṣe ẹ̀kàn káwọ́ sókè pé èmi ò mọ olùkú o àdẹ̀wà wọ́ọ̀rù kan fi ṣàdá àwọn ọmọ bá a ṣe máa sọ ìtumọ̀ olùkú fún yín. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti wọlé sí orí ètò yìí látòrí Adéríbigbé Felicia tí wọ́n kọ nǹkan tí a ò rí kà ṣùgbọ́n síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ máa bá wọn jẹ́ kí gbogbo èèyàn rí nǹkan tí wọ́n kọ kà nísìn. God is grace Adamson bàbá mi ọ̀wọ́n ọwọ́ méjì lókè fi hàn kan ọmọ ìyá mi ẹgbàájàre friend is olùkú ẹgbà Samson Akínwùmí bàbá mi àwọn àgbàlagbà yìí mo rí yín lálẹ́ ìkílárí arẹ́wú lọ́sàn-án ẹ̀yin mi tí ì rí yín lórí program ni mo ṣe rí yín for the first time ni o tó yẹ pé máa wá tẹ̀tẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ mọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n mi rí yín rí mo ṣe rí yín ní èní ni. Ṣé dáadáa lẹ́wà gbogbo ilé ńkọ́ àwọn àǹtí mi ńkọ́ àwọn bọ̀dá mi ńkọ́ àwọn ọmọ mi ńkọ́ Mr. Adé Thomas má tàgbà mọ́lẹ̀ tù má tàgbà mọ́lẹ̀ fóònù yín ní fóònù tó ṣe ń yàn nǹkan lórí ni KP Adékúnlé Adépọ̀jù èèyàn láti ayé alálùmọ́lẹ̀ mo mọ̀ pé Tẹ́rí ọmọ Àlàdé #1 Jésù ló kọ orúkọ rẹ #1 ni ó jẹ́ Tẹ́rí ó #1 ni ó jẹ́. Bàbá mi ó yà mí lẹ́nu pé mo rí yan ẹsẹ̀ ọba back again. Well, I have to. My father, one of my father that needs to come after the other dad, we missed each other's call and we couldn't agree on what we're going to do. So we're going to find a time to start that. It's a brand new program, so we're going to find a time to find how we are going to do. Mr. Adelani Alamu, are you not at work? Shetire Wimba, Taiwo, Lamina, thank you. Gbogbo yín náà mo ti dárúkọ kò sẹ́ni tí mo lè gbàgbé nù yín ṣé mo pọ́ mọ̀ ìyá mi gbogbo yín. Lálẹ́ yìí mo ní bàbá wa àgbà ó dẹ̀ ní ìdí tí mo ṣe pé wọ́n ní bàbá wa àgbà nítorí àgbà ni wọ́n nǹkan tó tún wá ń ṣe tí wọ́n á kọjá àgbà nǹkan tí bàbá mọ̀ ó kọjá nǹkan tí àgbà mọ̀ torí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àgbà ni kò mọ ìdámẹ́wàá ohun tí bàbá mọ̀. Mo kí n kàbọ̀ sí orí ètò ti àṣálẹ̀ ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mo fi ọ̀nà Ọlọ́run bẹ̀ yín gbogbo bí tẹ́ bá lè bá mi pín dé gbogbo bẹ̀ ni kẹ́ bá mi pín dé ní àṣálẹ̀ yìí ẹ ṣáà rí i pé gbogbo bá a ṣe ń kọ́ ara lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ tó yè koro ni àkọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ àmúlùmálà àkọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ kíni àmúlùmálà ẹ̀kọ́ tó yè koro ni gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ tí à ń kọ́. Mo kí n kàbọ̀ sí orí ètò ilé ẹ̀kan sí pé ṣé dáadáa lẹ́wà gbogbo ilé ńkọ́ o ṣé ọmọ ń jẹ ṣé ọmọ ń mu ṣé gbogbo nǹkan lọ déédé lágbára ọba aláwùrábí ọba tó ní ayé àti ọ̀run ọlọ́run gbogbo èdè nìyàn á bá gba orílẹ̀-èdè fún wa ní àìpẹ́ ní àìjìnà. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n gbé àwọn bàbá mi wọlé sí orí ètò ní àṣálẹ́ nítorí pé wọ́n ti wà ní ìkàlẹ̀ ó ti ṣe díẹ̀ tí wọ́n ti wà mẹ́ o ní nǹkan tí ìfojú wọn hàn ni ṣùgbọ́n ní báyìí ọ̀pọ̀n ti sún ọ̀pọ̀n ti dé àdán wọn. Àwọn ló kọ́kọ́ fún mi ní àìdíà yẹn tán sọ fún mi pé báwọn náà ṣe tọ́nà wọ́n ní rélùwé Odùduwà ó ti ṣí kò dẹ̀ sẹ́ni tó lè dá dúró mọ́ kò sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ dá dúró náà ẹni tó bá fẹ́ dá dúró ṣe bá àkọ́ṣe ẹni ẹni náà tọ́ra rẹ̀ jẹ́ ni ìwé ẹni ká fi rélùwé wa gbá kúrò ní títì ni ìyẹn máa ń sọ pé ẹ kúrò ní títì nọ́mbà yín ò jáde ẹ kúrò ní títì nọ́mbà yín ò jáde. Ṣùgbọ́n kí n tó fi ojú bàbá hàn mo fẹ́ kí ẹ sọ olórin tó kọrin yẹn fún mi ẹ kúrò ní títì nọ́mbà yín ò jáde ẹ kúrò ní títì. Mo fẹ́ mọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní orílẹ̀-èdè wa sí. Ó ní ẹ kúrò ní títì nọ́mbà yín ò jáde ẹ kúrò ní títì káwọ́ ẹ tó máa gbà. Mo ń wojú kan náà ó máa tó bí I think I have about 30 or 40 seconds delay so nǹkan tí mo ṣe ń dúró dé pé kẹ́ ẹ kọ́ nìyẹn ẹ kúrò ní títì nọ́mbà yín ò jáde. Sista mi ó yẹ kẹ́yìn mọ̀ sista Bùnmi ṣe dáadáa lẹ́wà Ọlọ́run àgbàdúrà yín ẹ kúrò ní títì ẹ̀yin kan mo bá wí o sista mi ẹ kúrò ní títì nọ́mbà yín ò jáde ẹ kúrò ní títì gbogbo ilẹ̀ káwọ́ gbénú ẹ̀ sọ ta ló kọrin yẹn mo fẹ́ mọ̀ ta ló kọ mo dúró Samson Akin bàbá mi ẹ jẹ mi ń káàpù root kan mo jẹ yín ní káàpù root kan ẹ bá mi fi àdírẹ́sì yín àti ibi tá a máa fi ṣọwọ́ sí ẹ bá mi fi ránṣẹ́ going back to my root bàbá mi Samson Akínọlá ẹ bá mi fi àdírẹ́sì yín àti nọ́mbà yín ẹ bá mi fi ránṣẹ́ mo ní nọ́mbà yín àdírẹ́sì yín nìkan ní kẹ́ fi ránṣẹ́ so màá lè fi cap the root cap èmi gan tí ni if I have the time tonight we're going to produce that cap tonight. Ó máa jẹ́ going back to my root tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn á wà lókè root yìí the way tá a ṣe kọ root yìí raised and embossed that's exactly how we're going to write that one. It's going to be black on white and the cap itself is actually Egba Sunny Adeko Mr. Adamson àgbàlagbà tó yẹ kẹ́ tún mọ̀ Sunny Adeko Sunny Filani ó wà lára yìí tí bá mú yín sà Sunny Adeke Sunny Adé tó kọlà Oǹdó ló máa mú ẹ kúrò ní títì ó yẹ ẹ̀kọ́ fún mi ẹ̀kọ́ tí Sunny kọ́ fún mi kí n mọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ fún mi tẹ́ bá mọ̀ pé Sunny Adé kọ́ Àyìnlá Ọmọwúrà ló kọ ẹ má sọ Sunny Adé níta àwọn akọ́ máa fi wá ṣe ẹ̀yẹ tí bàbá wa ti wọlé máa bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ bàbá tó kọ orin yẹn náà bóyá bàbá mọ̀ àgbàlagbà àwọn yẹ káwọn kan tiẹ̀ lè mọ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ jẹ̀ sábẹ́òkúta dáadáa àwọn tó ok tó wáyé pé Sunny Adé ló kọ báwo ló ṣe kọ ṣélù ló fi kọ ni àbóhùn ló fi kọ ìlú orin ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ orin Àyìnlá Ọmọwúrà lórin yẹn lóní dàdúndùn Adéwọlé onílù ọ̀là ló kọ dàdúndùn dúndúndùn dáńdàdùn dàdùn dàdúndùn dúndúndùn dáńdàdùn dúndùn bọ́n ṣe máa ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ orin báyìí la ṣe máa ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ tiẹ̀ nìyẹn ọmọ kọlà Àyìnlá kì í ṣe ọmọ àlè ẹ gbogbo yín lẹ́sà lọ ẹ lè sọ bàbá ọkọ̀rẹ́ pé bàbá wa kẹ́lá wà gbà lálẹ́ kò bá má sẹ́ni tó wà mọ́ bóyá bá gbé fún Francis Adamson tó sọ fún wa pé Sunny Adé bóyá bá gbé fún ẹgbẹ́ wa tó wà sẹ́ni tó gbà ẹni tó bá rúpò náà rípò múnà àbíkílẹ̀ fi gbogbo èèyàn wa so mo kí gbogbo yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé ẹ káàbọ̀ sí orí ètò mo like bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe bá mi like ẹ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń wọlé yẹn ẹni tí ó wà tí like ẹ nígbà tí wọ́n ti sọ láti jẹta Mr. Moses láti jẹta náà ti sọ ánsá àyíṣẹ́ wọn sọ lè ní Ọlọ́run àgbàdúrà yín bóyá ó late lọ́dọ̀ yín ni anyway ẹ kú gbádùn ètò yìí bàbá ẹ kú dédé àsìkò yìí ṣé dáadáa lẹ́wà gbogbo lẹ́kọ́ ẹ kálẹ́ sà.
Ẹ káalẹ́ o, ẹ kú àpéjọ ìrọ̀lẹ́ yìí àbí alẹ́
àṣálẹ́ tọ̀sán yìí ní gbogbo tẹ bá wà àbúrò yìí.
ní gbogbo ibi tẹ bá wà o. Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀ tẹ tún fàsìkò lẹ̀ láti gbọ́ díẹ̀ lára àwọn nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ. Ní òní a ní sọ̀rọ̀ púpọ̀ jù bọ́tá máa fi ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀.
Ẹ ṣé bàbá, ẹ ṣé bàbá. The reason for the dissolution of the amalgamation nǹkan tí a fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí àṣálẹ́ yìí ó dẹ̀ dá mi lójú pé bóyá ẹnu yín gan mo ti kọ́ gbọ́ statement that word amalgamation rí nítorí pé mi ò gbọ́ rí tẹ̀tẹ̀lẹ̀ mi kàn tẹ́ mọ nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ ẹnu mi ṣe léèbó oní maths làwa oníṣirò níwá science làwa ṣe so amalgamation yẹn ìgbà tí mo kọ́ gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn kí n tó mọ̀ pé gan yín mi fẹ́ yọ àpá so fún àǹfààní àwọn tí ò mọ amalgamation àwọn tó tuntun àwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ṣàlàyé ẹ̀ pé two company tẹ́ ṣàlàyé fún mi gbà yẹn bóyá bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ ṣe máa ṣàlàyé fún alálẹ̀ kẹ́ break it down bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa ń break dance láyé ìgbà tí yẹn ṣe mọ̀ pé ṣòkòtò máa ń wọ̀ láyé ìgbà tí yẹn ṣòkòtò high waist náà pè àbí Rafiu Kamoru ẹ jẹ́ ìbéèrè láwọn ará ilé ta ló mọ Rafiu Kamoru ní gbogbo yín ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi Rafiu Kamoru ta ló mọ ẹ tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹni tó bá mọ̀ ó máa kọrin ó máa sọ orin ẹ̀kọ́ fún mi o Rafiu Kamoru is a musician ó máa ń kọrin ni so ta ló mọ̀ Rafiu Kamoru nínú gbogbo yín mo ń dúró de yín o kí ni yẹn late díẹ̀ bí mo ṣe rò so but it doesn't matter I will wait Rafiu Kamoru ni mo ń wá ẹni tó mọ̀ ní àṣálẹ́ yìí Rafiu Kamoru ta ló mọ̀ Rafiu Kamoru nínú gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nulẹ̀ kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ láṣálẹ́ yìí ẹ jọ̀ọ́ Rafiu Kamoru là ń wà Ellen Eyo wow you are a superstar on the show today. I don't know where you are. If you're in England, please, if you know my number, Ore Lonjebe. I know Kamaru Usman, MMA fighter. Rafiu Kamoru is Raphael Cameron. Ellen Eyo. I think Ellen Eyo should be born around 1963 to 1967. That is why she can know who Rafiu Kamoru is. Ooh la la. So Ellen, if you know my number, please kindly send me your address as well. I owe you a root cap. If you're in England, if you're not in England, you have to pay a postage. But if you're in England, you don't need to pay postage. Baba, ẹ má bínú sí mi. Amalgamation, ẹ bá fọ́ sí wẹ́wẹ́.
Ó dà bẹ́ẹ̀ tí tún àwọn èèyàn wa lọ́kàn tán tẹ ẹ fẹ́ jẹ́ kí wọ́n jókòó tẹ́tẹ́ kan gbọ́ àwọn nǹkan tí ó wà lẹ̀ ní òní ó máa dàbẹ̀ pé àwọn actual facts mi ò ní summarize mo máa kà wọ́n jáde mo ṣe wáyé but màá kọ́ fún yín ní preamble tán bá sọ pé wọ́n amalgamate nǹkan usually àwọn nǹkan méjì tàbí mẹ́ta náà máa ń kó pọ̀ wọn láwọn amalgamate and usually àwọn companies ni bóyá company kan lọ́ọ̀lẹ̀ ìkejì dẹ̀ dáa but èyí tó dáa yẹn rí pé táwọn bá gbé èyí tó lọ́ọ̀lẹ̀ yẹn àwọn lè dáa pọ̀ mọ́ ti àwọn then àwọn á tún ṣe wọ́n á tún ní profit from there. That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
As at 1914, before 1914, the South was described as the lady of means by the Colonial Office, and the North a bankrupt estate. So, and unfortunately for us in the South, it's just at the end of the Boer War and Britain was owing 250 million pounds, and they needed to get this money from all their estates, that is their colonies worldwide, of which the Northern Territory, which later became Nigeria, was being administered with money directly from the Colonial Office. Like most of us, we usually describe it as taking the British taxpayers' money. And that's a big accusation. And this time is to a territory that happens to be in West Africa. And that is the Northern Territories, which later became the Northern Nigeria Protectorate. So Lugard happened to be the governor of that area as at the time. Himself and the wife, liking the weather and the openness of the grasslands there, decided to deceive the home of
Country.
that is the home country, I would say, and the press. But some people saw through the lies, and one of them, Mr. Temple, had to write something at the anatomy of lying. I repeat, the anatomy of lying, referring to Lugard and the wife. They painted the North as one of that heavenly place with high development and all of that, and that the rest of us in the South were in the jungle. This is 1900s. They never wanted to refer to the fact that before them there was already institutions of learning in the South. Semes Grammar School was already established through the help of Quincy Labulo Davis and the rest of them, giving our seed money to develop all the libraries and so on in 1856. And this 1900, that's about almost 40 years, more than 40 years before these lies that Lugard perpetrated. But unfortunately, he was a more superior administrator than the ones in the South, all because of his military connection, and because he was a military officer. He was now taxed because he also the one who actually he did some work well in Africa. Makerere College in Uganda, he established it. So he was jockeying from one colony to the other. But each time he was always recalled back to England and sent back to Northern Nigeria, or then Northern Territories, as it was then. So he was now tasked with the fact that you either jettison the Northern Territory or find a solution to the finances of the North. They are no longer ready to give him any money to administer the place. Then the next thing that came to his mind was that the Southern Territories belong to the home country. Therefore, let us see what we can do. Bring the financial administration of both together, then we can get money to run the North. But before then, there have been problems of financing the North. The South had been paying £225,000 from 1906 to support the administration in the North, in spite of the fact that they were getting about £300,000 from the Home Office or the home country to administer the North. So they were a bankrupt region. And if you want references, it's in I.F. Nicholson and some other text material, and the history of Nigeria by this young professor. I don't remember his name now, it's on my bed. I will list all these things, references to you. So Lugard now sat down and wrote a letter patent, because at that time it was going towards a situation whereby they were going to lose the Northern Territories, that is Northern Nigeria Protectorate, to the French. That's how it was. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Baba.
Okay. What he now did was that he now wrote a letter patent of intent of telling the rest of the colonialists, the French and the Germans, that this region belongs to us and we are bringing it back into one single unit with the southern territories which our home country owns. It's like an ownership of a territory, a trading post. That was what it was. And that was what is still now. It was a mere trading post for the British. They did not come to create nation. They came to trade. They came to find resources, raw material for their budding industrial revolution, and perhaps a market for what the products of industrial revolution. That was what we are. That was what all of Africa was. They did not come to create nations in Africa. They came to trade, please. So Nigeria is a trading post. I've clearly stated it always. It's not a nation. And in some write-ups, because we had claimed them as our home country, they are forced to write the new nations of Africa, the new nations created for Africans. Do they understand those nations? It's exhibited in some of the discussions, I would call it, discussions in Lancaster House, 1953, July. Like I said, I'm going to read statements so that you know I'm not just talking fabu. If I want to talk like the way we used to talk in those days, Nile, when we are about going for a pint or so, or maybe just have a run around in the city. I lived most of my life in Ibadan actually, so Ibadan me. So some of you may know me, and some may not. You see, when Lugard wrote that letter patent, somebody commented. I will read that section to you.
Nǹkan tí bàbá ò ṣe sọ Yorùbá ni pé nítorí pé tá a bá sọ Yorùbá nínú eléyìí púpọ̀ kò ní yé wa dáadáa nítorí pé àmúlùmálà ni bàbá máa sọ so kí àwọn èèyàn lè rí òkodoro ọ̀rọ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan ṣó yẹ yẹn èèyàn mi ẹbí àpẹ̀lú wa.
Ṣe ní bí my host ṣe sọ ń sìn máa ṣèdè Yorùbá àti èdè Ìgbò àná ibi tí máa ti ka àwọn specific statements máa kà lédè Ìgbò ni because I said earlier pé Lugard was tasked with finding a solution to the debts in the north, and then what came into his mind was, okay, we have the south too, so we bring the two administrations together. So he wrote a paper which he termed as a letter patent to amalgamate, and that letter patent became open to the rest of the colonialists like the French, the Germans, and the Italians were not in the game anyway as at that time. They came into it in the 1930s or so. Lugard's main amalgamation submitted on 9th May 1913, soon after he returned to London from his 5-month inspection of Nigeria, because they started using the word Nigeria. It could have been called Nigritia or Lugardian or New Sudan or Niger Sudan. Those are all the names proposed in Sendes's book, administration of. So we fell into the trap of Lady Lugard Flower Shaw. She started writing papers in the Times of London about how beautiful the North was and the intelligent and everything, which another man now described as the anatomy of lying, which I've just quoted earlier. You'll find it in the write-up of the administrative processes. So the proposal contemplated a state which is impossible to classify. That amalgam was impossible to classify. It is not a unitary state with local government area, but with one central executive and one legislature. It is not a personal union of separate colonies under the same governor, like the wind was. It is not a confederation of states. If adopted, his proposal can hardly be a permanent solution. Can hardly be a permanent solution. And I gather that Sir Frederick Lugard only regard them as a temporary, at any rate in part. But unfortunately, those of us in the South held on to this mess. It will interest you if I quickly read what one of the people who went for the discussion. I don't say they negotiated, they went to discuss. If they negotiated, they were putting the groundswell of an agreement and how they are going to run the place. They went to discuss. 1953. From the North, their position was like a legal deposition. Four whereases were there. It was resolved by the North to virtually break up the federation. Each region, they had said, will have its own defense, its own external affairs, its own customs, its own research institutions. There will be no central legislative body. There will be only a custom union. Eyoita himself, I will just summarize what Eyoita said. He said God will punish anybody who says we should be a custom union. He's from the South. Did they discuss that point with the Fulani from the North, or even to the Yorubas? And my great father, Awolowo, said, because, like, I'm sorry, I have to apologize on his behalf. He wanted people, whether you understand him or not, to gain civilization, just like the Yorubas have gained it. And therefore he said this. As far as my party and myself are concerned, said Awolowo, facing the chairman at an angle, I'm reading directly the quotes. At an angle, rather than speaking across to the MPC, as Balewa had done when he was speaking to the Action Group, when the MPC stated what I just read earlier. He said, as far as we are concerned, everything can and must be so soon for freedom. Once we have independence, this problem will be trashed out. That's our general position. Look at the three statements. Why are we holding on to an amalgamated territory, which even the authors said it was a temporary issue in part? We have been ignoring truth. We've been running around the territory, the marketplace called Nigeria, a trading post, claiming it to be as if it was our forefathers who created it. Our forefathers had no hand in it, not in any form at all. Not even the forefathers of the Igbos or the forefathers of the Hausa Fulani, or our own forefathers, the Yorubas. Why are we forcing ourselves to retain something that has gradually degraded our civilization? We have mortgaged what we have gained through the effort of Awolowo and his team from 1950 to 61, I would say. 62, the place was destroyed when Western region was turned to a slave of the federal government. That's what I would describe it. They brought a Yoruba man to be the administrator on their behalf that the Yoruba race has no region in Nigeria. That's what it meant. Yet we kept on and were dancing along with that charade. I'm now talking to the souls and minds of all of us listening. That place should not have existed beyond even 1925. But before that time, our people had already started running around carrying placards of Nigerian nationalism. What do you expect the market owner to do? He cannot call time and go, because if he does, the sweet things that he has been gaining, the French will just take over, or even the Germans. That's the position the African continent had been, starting from the Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885. We were not invited to that conference. Yet somebody started to create new nations for us, or a team of people, 15 of them, started to create what they called a new nation for Africans, regardless of who they found in those new territories, whether they are the same people or not. If you look at, even coming back to Britain, the issue of Scotland and England it's over 2 centuries. They had never been one. It was trade that brought them back to one in the 1707 when they signed the Treaty of Cooperation and Union, the Treaty of Union. They've been fighting each other. Even the Romans knew that the Cubrian, what do they call them now? I don't know. I have the paper somewhere. Maybe later. The Hadrian Wall was to prevent the Scottish coming into England, because there's only been a state of war between them. On and on. And that's why up till now, the average Scottish still believes the glory of the ancient past has to come back to them. I was there some years back when I went to learn how to build mini hydroelectric systems. Some of the professors I worked with and taught me very efficiently. In their minds of mind, they want a Scottish nation. That's two people who have been together for ages. And what about us? 1914. It's 106 years now. Or how many? 14, 6, 107 years now. Why are we holding on to something that is collectively destroying our civilization? That's what I told Adobayero when he sent an emissary to me in London here, having produced one of our small booklet 1 on self-determination under the auspices of Southern Nigeria Solidarity Movement. That was we published that book August 10, 1999. We sent copies to the federal government and then all the states in the south. I wish we did send, on second thought, I wish we sent to the north too. But of course, they got copy. And that was how Adobayero was able to get a copy.
Wow.
On the federal government allocation of those books. He was the only one who responded to our call. All our governors in the south ignored it. Even the fact that we write to congratulate them of what they are doing, they just ignored it. It's coming to bite all of us now. There was a chance for us to go. Let me tell you, I will read, like I said, I'm going to be reading sections of some materials that I've used.
The book Baba is reading from is the book that I advertised the other time. I don't have any affiliation with that book, and I believe the book is actually sold out online for now. I don't know when it's going to be available again. Okay, so
There are other books. If people are not going to be too resistant about reading the Abubakar book, it also contains a wealth of information, which I will, yes. Apart from what they said at that conference, which also is in what Colonial book, he said on page 159, the last months as an education officer, that is Tafa Balewa. He said in his book, and that's, of course, I now see where the inspiration of his writing, what he put as a deposition in 1953, this is 1951. He said, I'm sure you British could negotiate with the French some right for us of importing and exporting through their country, that is Dahomey. At the same period, another such conversation led to a discussion on how the North will fare if any separation reduces the number of professional or technical expatriates available to them. They had always, all along, not wanted Nigeria. We are the ones who have been ringing the bell of Nigeria, starting from Herbert Macaulay. I don't blame them. That's their own vision. And it's corrupted by the idea of Pan-Africanism. When you have not developed internally, you are bringing somebody else. Oh, T. That's what I see. That's what we did. That's what we did. And you see how they don't regard us for anything. But outwardly, when they go on the press and so on, they start lying to us, and we are happy. We cannot read through the lines. I've always, when they make statements, for example, there was this young man, Colonel Umar, who was supporting Abiola. I was telling people, I said, listen to the statement. It says, after all, Abiola is going to come and just do 4 years, and that's it. Why are we worrying ourselves? It is our own. But people did not listen deep into his statement. You all remember this man. Then you say, not a military officer supporting Abiola. He wasn't so. He was supporting himself. He wasn't supporting Abiola as such. And even when it came to the possibility of an Abiola coming to take his rightful place, do you know what this young man said again? He said that if his president cannot be the commander-in-chief. He said that. So previously, Tell and all other magazines were talking about him. You see, oh God, when I read those papers in London, I just said, my God, can't these people see the smoke screen? Can't they? Sorry. Now, based on that statement, there was immediately Abiola died. On the afternoon of that day, that's July 8th, an interview was granted by a northern top politician in London then. And that interview was held, was for the Financial Times of the Sunday following, which is July 9. It was published on July 9, but the interview was held on July 8th by one Michael Holman and Michelle Wrong. And I'll read part of it. This gentleman, it was an interview that was termed as a walking lunch interview. Walking lunch. Some of you who are pressmen and journalists know what I'm talking about. When you take somebody out and then you sit down, you're having some meal and then discussing very important issues. which was this one. And as the former minister and member of Nigeria's northern elite warmed to his theme over lunch, he cleared his place and took a pen and pad from his briefcase and sketched his vision of the country of the future. The map was rough, but the intent was clear. It represented the breakup of Nigeria within the curve of the Niger River, embracing the south, and was what he called Yoruba land, embracing the south and what he called Yoruba land, dominated by cocoa producers and boasting the country's commercial capital, Lagos. Let them have it. It's not it. The rest will remain Nigeria, stretching from the river bank, that is River Niger bank, to Kano in the north, through to Enugu and the heartlands of Igbo people, and down to Port Harcourt in the southeast central and the center of oil fields, and pumping out more than 2 million barrels a day, which is still held down. And then he said they will be. He's confident that they will be co-opted into their own vision of a new Nigeria, excluding the Yoruba race. I showed this to top members of my race at that time, but they couldn't see the imagery and the potent message that was drawn. We could have gone by around that time if we were serious. And that made another man, Adewale Thompson, late now. That's 7th of April 2003. Based on this was the vision that if Obasanjo wins the next second term, he was going to organize a sovereign national conference, of which I'm privileged to know about.
But was Obasanjo ruling when he was in power as a politician? Was he in power or they were still ruling him then?
Well, just listen, because he appeared to show an air of control up to a point, until when we gave him a very important security document. I will not say where the security document comes from. That helped him to hold on to power and win the second term. If he's in doubt and he's seeing me now, I'll let him remember that. I remind him that he sent Folu Olamiti to us, a former Tribune journalist and manager up to a point. Folu Olamiti, he knows him. So I'm talking from facts, and I know that at some point earlier he used to record my voice. You should remember my voice now, when I was on a radio program in those days in the 90s. So usually most of our people use the wrong word, secession. The secession is not what is the solution to the problem all of us are facing. Collectively, that is both the North, East, and West. The amalgam is not working. It has to be dissolved. And that was the time there was a body called ORF, Odua Republic Front, and also the YCE, the Yoruba Council of Elders, of which Adewale Thompson was a member. And they were calling for the dissolution of the country through a sovereign, so that they did an advert, the open call for a sovereign state of Odua, and all Yorubas to fly the Odua flag and wear its logo and symbol. Yorubas are angered by the fact that they had never produced. You see, it's not anger that should have preceded this, because I was privy to all these things. It is understanding that we put ourselves into this quagmire. Because the 59 election was already won before it was conducted. How do you expect 57 constituencies in the Yoruba land to supersede 168 constituencies in the north? Or 77 constituencies? If you look at some of us who do not do the analysis clearly, talk about the number of votes. It's not the votes, it's the constituencies. Even though the North had the least votes, but they had the most.
They have more constituencies, yeah.
So this is the point. Some of our people who argue and then depend on the votes don't see the real picture. It's like covering your face with a broomstick. So I think I want to stop so far. There are still more to reveal, but like I said, we are not going to have a long session tonight.
Yeah.
Because I'm still coming up tomorrow by the grace of God. Ọlọ́run Olódùmarè tó fún wa lágbára ká sùn ká jíire. A máa bí àná máa jíire ní lágbára Ọlọ́run. And then nǹkan tí wọ́n á sọ fún gbogbo wa sì ni pé ká má níbẹ̀rù. Ọlọ́run Olódùmarè ti dúró tì wá. Ó ti mọ̀ pé àsìkò ti tó láti kúrò. Kò sí nǹkan tán lè fi wá ṣe. There may be some skills, definitely. At the end of the day, they will just run back home and abandon all the things they have done. Because the reason for that dissolution of the amalgamation is what I've tried to show you. Even the people who had put it down did not want it. You can see from what I read. And even Lugard, before he left, described each of the main peoples that he found. I will not say tribes, because tribe is a wrong term. The Yoruba group of kingdoms, the Hausa Caliphate, and the Igbo Republican setup. That's what they are, not tribes. It's an insult when you call a people that are, as at that time, more than 20 million tribe. Can you call England that is only 60 million tribe? So we should stop calling ourselves tribes. So, you see, he described the different areas. He said, as for although it was interesting the way he described the Yorubas, that we liked Faji a lot, that translated, and that we will do anything to get Kamche Igbaladun. Then he said, as a warning, that the Fulanis are a menace and a nuisance to any group of persons they find themselves attached to. And these are the people who want to continue. I respect them, let them be on their own. That's exactly what I told Adubairo. Let us, because we are not, they had a newspaper that was published in 1996, whereby they said the South is deluding itself, thinking that they don't have minerals. It's just been shown now. There's a lot of gold in some parts of this thing. They have enough minerals to last them for over 200 years. Yet we are the ones trying to put, Gidi, Kobodo Baje. I use the term of some of our people now. Nigeria Obodo too. Nigeria Titustinu. That's why we are running out. So let us complete the final dissolution of the amalgam. It's already dissolved. And even our president, with due respect to him, Major General Buhari, said in 2018 that Nigeria is an open border. That was when the horde of what I call migration from all of West Africa started. But there has been a trickle all along, because People have been reporting to me way back from the year 2000, and even the sad story of a woman who had his 12-year-old son murdered, as at that time the mother was already 70 plus.
Wow.
That apart. What I'm saying is that we should have looked into ourselves. Sometimes we get beclouded by external information, which we sometimes don't understand. Countries like Czechoslovakia, there was one, I woke up in 1993 around January 3rd, and then I had the Republic of Czech and the Republic of Slovakia. Then look because I always like to have books around me, and yes, Czech, yes. Then I said, what? Czechoslovakia has finally dissolved the amalgam. They were also amalgamated in 1919. Check out the records. They had been amalgamated over the years, over the millennia, and they go out, they come back, they go out. This is because they are like the Yorubas and the Shekiri and Edo people. So at some point they disagree. They were also de-amalgamated in 1956, but for the Soviet Union that wanted to hold on to its control space. That was the first time they completed the amalgamation. I think Alexander Dubček, one of their chancellors, was one of those people. And wow. If you check the records. So, you see, coming back to Nigeria, I'm talking to the souls and minds of even those who have died in the course and the quest of trying to find a meaning to our suffering. Look at, if I will tell you, myself and the rest of our team under the auspices of Southern Nigeria, the Democratic Solidarity Movement, Southern Nigeria Solidarity Movement existed. Most of us, including from the southeast, at that time, people like what's his name now? Okoro Dudu, Ali Ekine, and many others, of which I don't, and there was Ledumite and others. We were all together. It was us Yorubas, that was how we considered ourselves. We used to wake up very early in the morning to have meetings at one of our young men's house in Hasden. Very early in the morning. Before 8 o'clock, we already passed, go back to our works. We've been in this, but our people are not listening. And now people are still not listening. I hope the Yoruba race will wake up. You have not born to be slaves. You have your nation. Because if you are going to allow the Yoruba nation to die, then it is then you don't wake up, you say it is okay. There's nothing okay. You are in Europe, you are in everywhere, and you say it's okay. When you have a beautiful land where you can stretch your leg and enjoy the gift of nature, and you are in Europe, you say it's not okay to have your new nation. The question is to you, where are you going to put your children? Your children, they will ask questions. I remember one lady, both here in Britain and in America, this daughter asked the lady that all my friends have their own national language. The Koreans speak Korean, and then the Japanese speak Japanese, this and all that. That my friends asked me, what's the Nigerian language? And I couldn't tell them. Then she came home and asked mommy, what's the Nigerian language, mommy? The woman was stunned. There's no Nigerian language because many countries have been put together into Nigeria. And so we speak different languages. Then the little girl asked, so if we don't speak English language, so we cannot understand our fellow Nigerians. Mother said, Omo Dadanye, you are intelligent. If we don't speak English language, so it means we cannot understand the others. Then why are we keeping the amalgam, for God's sake? My people, Yoruba, I will not say Eronu, Ejidide.
Wow, Baba. That was very, very down to details. I want to thank everybody who has been on this show today. It's been a fantastic sermon from Bajala, because thank God it didn't go over long period, because there are too many things to grab in that we need to go back and reflect on. We need to go back home and reflect on it, and then when we come back tomorrow for the final part, maybe we try and throw the line open. Baba, I want to seriously thank you for everything you're doing for Yoruba nation and for humanity, because I think this is a calling from God for you, sir. This must be the alale driving your energy on this one. And I like your Yoruba Moluabi's heart today, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fantastic, thank you. Maybe I have to go and make another one for myself, because the one I put on today, when I went out, somebody take it from the store. The book reference is still mainly two book reference. The Amalgamation, the Administration of Nigeria from 1900 to 1960. And the second one is called Just Before Dawn by Kole Omotosho. Kole Omotosho is the second one.
If you don't want to read, if you get it, just go to page 186 to 187. All I read out is there. Yeah. But there are other sad stories in that book. But the most important one is that section. Because when you read some of this book, I don't want to preempt your feelings, please. I don't do that. Just read those recommended pages. And if you by chance have a right honorable gentleman by Abubakar from the Black Rock by Trevor Clark, you go to page 158 to 159. There are a lot more in it. Maybe tomorrow I will quote some of the other areas. They are relevant to this sense, because it is not storytelling, it is factual presentation. It's a deposition that we don't have anything to do with that place.
These people.
We only held on to it. And that's why I will beg people like some of my fathers who think that they have fought for Nigeria. Nobody fought for Nigeria. That's a fact. We did not even negotiate properly. It was just a mere discussion. They went for a meeting and
over a bottle of beer or something like that.
And even Dick was busy talking about unity and oneness, but he was speaking English language. If he spoke Igbo, would they understand him?
No.
See, this is the point. Nations coming through that definition, even which Judge Straw clearly and eruditely presented at his first meeting of the European Council of Foreign Ministers. His first paragraph was clear that nations are based on the basis of a common ancestral origin, language, culture, tradition, and way of life, and even how to dress and food preparation. Clearly stated. So where is that commonality between us when we say then I ask those people, can you go to Sokoto and say would they understand what you are saying? Or go to Enugu and say and understand what they are saying, what you are saying? So why are we not thinking inwards? Please.
Why are we deceiving ourselves? Baba, I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you. I can't just thank you enough. I don't know how we will understand and get to know what we know now if you are not there for us. Your Adeban just said they have invested in Nigeria and they don't want Nigeria to break. Matthew Jemito, that's a coded language, and okay, I will try and put the book reference there. That's a coded language, but we don't want to decode it at the moment because it has a lot of weight, and there's a reason for saying that. So let's leave it. When the time comes, or maybe if you have time, you can phone me sometimes tomorrow, and I can discuss things with you. If you can establish who you are to me, because I need to know who you are first before I can decode some few things to you. That will make life easy.
That statement is an open statement by Adebanjo.
Okay.
He has always saying that they've invested. The question is, can he tell us what and what investment? I really want to speak to him because I've come across him the year himself, Laniwa Ajayi and Falaye came to London for some campaign about the impending approach to a new government in Nigeria after the death of Abiola. So one of those sheets, we presented it to them, and in fact they felt that we cornered them. But if they felt that way, why can't they get back to us? Young men, how did you get this information? That's, you see, I go to any length to get what I want. To the elderly man and to the little boy. I'll tell you, there's a young girl from Nigeria now, I'm taking to, very intelligent. She's giving me a wealth of information about what's happening. She said to me that at the grassroots, the Fulanis always tell them that Ile Baba won Ile Yoruba. Their forefathers have fought to hold on to Yoruba land for them. Therefore, that's what they are coming to claim. I don't know when, you see, and that's the general picture that is happening at home. So I've told her, look, it was just a statement that they wish to get the land of the infidels, the way they described us, whereas they were the infidels. At the time, we had a city of Oyole of 15 mile radius. It's in Clapperton's book, who came and found that there's a civilization of very high order, organized. It's in Clapperton's book.
Wow.
It's still in the desert. And they will be describing us as infidels. And why? Because we are not Muslims, or their own kind of Muslims.
I think more of this, we are not their own kind of Muslim, like you said, because we have Muslim all over in Yoruba land, and they are not non-entities like these ones. So Baba, I really want to thank you for this opportunity to sit at your feet once again and learn all this strategy. The book again is The Administration of Nigeria from 1900 to 1960, which is by Lugard. And the other one, Nicholson rather. And the other one is Just Before Dawn by Colley or Motoshaw. That one as well has become scared since we started the program. It was there, about 16 was there before we started the program, and I think people have decided to go and snap it.
2 minutes.
Yeah, it's all gone. 16 was on Amazon before we started the program, and it's all gone now. So
I mean, you should pay me.
So
no, I'm joking.
It's currently showing not.
It's just what I'm doing. It's like Babalawo àti àwọn oníṣègùn wa. They provide services free. In fact, I just thought it was that that attitude of our society that led to the Awolowo and his team giving us free health service. It's inborn, it's in our DNA. Tara yín bá ti sàn tán lè wá fún mi ní nǹkan tó tẹ́ bá fẹ́. Just like in the NHS, you pay very minimum. You get ìwòsàn first before they start talking about your contribution, which is NI. It's not the same as our Babalawo and Onishegun. It's the same. It's just modernized. We already have a structure at home. That's what we are going to start again with. Restructured from the Obas to the Joyes, which will be the parliamentarians in this new game that we are going to start. New nation we are going to start. And the other local, those will be local government chairman and all that. We are already a structured society. We are not a society that does not have its head, except that a few of us are getting confused and not seeing who they are, or like someone claiming that the Yorubas and Fulanis are the same. For God's sake, Chogbe de Fulani, are you of the same origin, please?
God forbid, Batin. Okay, we're gonna be calling it there, guys. I want to thank you again. If you have not liked the show, please like it. If you have liked it, please share it. If you have shared it, please make sure you subscribe to this channel or any other channel you're going to be watching this from later on. Like I always say to a lot of people, this program, yes, it might be here by Heritage, but it doesn't belong to Heritage. It belongs to Yoruba Nation. This is going to educate all the people. If you want to restream it, you are allowed to restream it. If whatever you want to do, as long as you're not making money out of it, you are allowed to restream this program for free. And we're not going to report anybody to Facebook, because this information must get out to our people. This information must what? Get out to our people. The more people who can share it, the more people who can restream it, the more people who can pass it on, the better it is going to be for us. And again, the more people that can like the platform. Let's try and push it up to 100. Let's push it up to 100 now, and let's see what we can get from it. If you have not liked it already, please go and like it now. We're not going to be taking any call today, Uncle. We're not taking calls on this program today. They said they don't need soundbite anymore. Before they were looking for soundbite, but they don't need soundbite. But it might be better if some people can do the needful and cut into pieces. Uncle, we're not taking calls though. I hope you don't want to. You're not trying to contribute, yeah? Hello, sir.
Ekalesa.
We're not taking calls at all for today. Ekalesa. We call Ale you.
Okay.
Okay, hold on, Baba Lan fẹ́ gbọ́n kí tẹ́ fẹ́ sọ. Hello, sir.
Ekalesa.
Ekale o.
Kẹ́mi Ọlọ́gun ẹ bá kí àwọn dáàdi wa yẹn dáadáa o.
Wọ́n gbọ́ yín.
Kí Kọ́lọ́run bá wa lọ́rẹ̀ mi wọn.
Àmì àṣẹ.
Àkọ́kọ́ ni pé àwọn ẹ máa bá wa kí àwọn náà máa ṣọ́ ara gidi gan, torí àwọn tí wọ́n bá mọ̀ pé wọ́n ní authentic information lọ́wọ́ báyìí, they can go at any length to go across them.
Hold on.
Nǹkan tí mo máa fẹ́
ẹ jẹ́ kó sọ tí wọ́n tán bàbá Jàlá ẹ jẹ́ kó sọ tí wọ́n tán sọ wọ́n á lè máa lọ.
Okay, sir.
Agbọ́tí bàbá tó àlọ́ fóònù. Yes, sir.
Our governors were nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. I don't know, maybe there's one-on-one conversation with them to think twice before it gets too late. Wọ́n fẹ́ máa invest, wọ́n ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀. Ìyẹn ò rán gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí lọ́wọ́ sá o. Ẹ má bínú sá o. Tí ẹ bá wo interview tí Governor Borno grant lénìí. Yes, sir. This thing has gone beyond imagination. Nigeria is in real war. Our governors were nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. It's better they call and cooperate with them. By this time, ó yẹ kó ti máa pe àwọn uncle wa Sunday Igboho, àwọn tó ní tí wọ́n ń jàjàngbara yìí láti máa bá wọn ṣe secret meeting, because ìkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Benue, that governor yẹn is own sunkún ni. He was attacking Buhari directly today. Ẹ bá wo bó ṣe wo ní alẹ́ yìí ni, direct attack ni, telling Buhari that he's harboring this Fulani. Why is it not coming out since all this day? Why has it not coming out?
Okay, let me come in there.
Hold on.
Okay, sir.
Yes, I saw clinical.
Okay, ẹ máa gbọ́ lọ lọ́dọ̀ yín sir, ṣe gbọ́.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, baba, ẹ fún wọn ní kan lè gbọ́ lọ́dọ̀ wọn.
As far as I'm concerned, mi ò ní sọ bí n ṣe jẹ́. I'm not afraid of anybody. And I told you earlier that even but they do record my voice. It's not now. I've just not come out now. Today ni mo fi wá sọ̀rọ̀ sí. Under Obasanjo, they used to record my radio program. And is it not us also who helped him to win this second term? And if you remember, as many years back, he said, and then when we tried to push him to do the Sovereign National Conference, he messed up the whole thing because he was scared. You see, if I were, I will do it and then let the horse be caught. But he was scared. He was not supposed to be scared, because even those he was scared about were scared themselves. We know. Why would Adebayo send to ask me a question? And when I sent a question, the answer back to him that since you did not write to me, I'm not going to write. And I'm telling you what we should collectively do is that we are deceiving ourselves. Let everybody go his own way and run his own country according to his own vision, his own dream, and his own capability. That was my answer back to Adebayo. It's not something that I'm afraid to talk about. All I'm begging all of you is that you should not be in fear.
Okay.
Because fear defeats your motives. And that's what I'm telling to all Yorubas. You have the power, the energy. It's inborn in all of us. If we want to rescue ourselves, we have to jettison fear from our midst. We know there's going to be a little bit of schisms, but it's not going to last because there will be so many fronts. And that's why I agree with you, we have to be very watchful, just like Igboho is watchful at home. But we should be watchful from a position of authority, a position of confidence. And Buhari's this accusation, Buhari had already dissolved Nigeria. That's my next this thing tomorrow. And by the grace of God, I will prepare the map because I want it to go international, and I can defend it anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Baba. Sorry, Mr. Ademola Akungbe, we would not be taking questions. I know you are pleading for it, but let's keep it till tomorrow. Let's keep it to tomorrow. I'm going to let Baba go so that I can talk about T-shirts in a minute, because I know some people have been asking me and sending me a message about it. I want to appreciate everybody who has been part of this. There's a reason for me to talk about T-shirt, and I'll go through that with you as soon as Baba leave. Baba, thank you very much for today. I hope you have a very peaceful night.
Thanks for all those who have a concern about me. All I'm praying is that I have a concern about the Yoruba race, and that concern is that we should not leave what is in us in limbo. Okay. That's the power of confidence, and that's one thing I see in the streets of London or other places. You see, the Yoruba man will be talking, even if he's talking English, you know, yes, he talks with a confidence. And we are all respected. We don't know it. So in this issue, we should not be afraid. Fear should not be our portion. Thank you.
Thank you, Baba. God bless you. So we catch up with you tomorrow, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night. Good night.
That was Baba Pa Alex Ajala, who has been feeding us with all the necessary information that we need to progress this agitation. There might be some few things that we're getting wrong. Nobody can stop this agitation, even if they want to. They can't, because this is not down to them. This is down to God. This is down to Almighty God, and nobody, and I mean nobody, can stop it, because it's nothing to do with them. This is something to do with God. I want to thank you all from Ade in Calgary. Woo la la, you're here. Adekola Sholishola, I've been very sorry. I've been very busy. That's why you haven't heard from me. I'm so sorry. Omatayo Ayola, thank you very much. Olumumi Oyewole, I thank you all. And all the people on YouTube as well. Dave Ajiboye, I think that is Baba. Ademola Akongbe, Baba is coming tomorrow. We might probably start a bit early tomorrow, maybe about 10 o'clock. Every time I try to, but I don't think we're gonna start 10 o'clock tomorrow, because there is about 3 programs I'm running tomorrow. Today I'm supposed to run 3 programs, on top of all the meetings I have to do during the day and all the other things. And then first thing in the morning I will be traveling back. So don't worry, we will be there very, very soon. You will have plenty of time to ask Baba all the necessary questions tomorrow. The number for t-shirt is going to be displayed now. If you need t-shirt, that is the number. Don't write story, just write t-shirt only. If you need the cap, just write cap. If you need the information about the book, please just write book in there, and I will definitely respond with the name. I've said the name anyway, but if you still need the book, please respond with just book, and I will send you the title of the 2 books we used today as references. One is Done, and the other one is The Administration of Nigeria from 1990 to 1960 by Lincoln. How do you pronounce Lincoln again? I don't know. My tongue is playing up, but don't worry about that. But we'll be back again tomorrow by the grace of God, and we'll be back nearly every day. I promise you, every day. So we missed a couple of days because of some other engagement that I have to go through. Please don't call at the moment. Please don't call. Just send text messages. We have route, and then if you're gonna buy the t-shirt and not wear it, please don't buy it. If you're not gonna wear it, don't buy it, because you're not doing justice to it. What we want to do is to use it to canvas more people to come into the agitation. Like I was saying, the one I have earlier on, the cap I have on earlier on, someone took it from the store where I went to, and I'm happy to give it out. You know why I'm happy to give it out? Because this person will go home and say, hey, I'm Yoruba Moluabi. So these are some of the things we have going currently. This is Orioloko on the shoulder. The same thing with this one, just a close-up. We have Omoluabi as well, which is Yoruba Omoluabi. Daddy wants to call, but okay, it's not calling. So we have Yoruba Omoluabi, and then we have some other few ones. I don't know what happened to them. They're supposed to be here, but they're not here. But that's not the end of the world. So please slow down, Mr. Ade. We love you. Okay. Okay. I can't. Where I will slow down. You know. Àgbàlagbà náà lẹ́ni pé tino bati tán lórí ẹ̀jẹ̀ kì tán lé kan náà lágbára Ọlọ́run gbogbo náà tó dé wà lórí wa Ọlọ́run bá gbọ́n gbogbo ẹ̀sọ́nù ní àìpẹ́ yìí. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti bá a ṣètò lẹ́ni. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ dúró tì mí lẹ́ni. N tí mo wọ yìí rúùtù lórúkọ ẹ̀ kì í ṣe rúùtù abọ́kọ̀kú o, kì í ṣe rúùtù yẹn o. I'm sure you know the route I'm talking about. The route. What was that? You need to have at least 6 hours a day, please. Yes, we try to have 6 hours, sometimes even more than 6 hours, sometimes, if we can. but it's not every time you can have 6 hours. I have to assure you that it's not every time you can have 6 hours, but we'll try to have 6 hours as much as possible. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sister Ami. I'm still waiting for my birthday cake, so don't worry, I'll get it soon. This is the one I'm wearing. This is the very one I'm wearing. Maybe you can see better like that. I don't know if you can see better, but that is the very one I'm wearing. We have all other ones as well. We have the hood, which is not very useful now because of the temperature. But some people still say, I still want to wear my hood, especially the young ones. They like the hood, and we cannot take it away from them. We have some other stuff that we're not talking about as well. Okay, Ishedale, yes, that one, Ishedale. It was written separately. But we might decide to put it back together if that is very, very important. If that's what you want, we'll put it together for you. Okay, so in the absence of that one going through, I'm still looking for 11 more likes on this program tonight. I'm still looking for 11 more likes because I want 11 more people to like the program, because I really want to push it up to 100. This is the mug. That's the Yoruba Nation mug. So I don't know if a lot of people know about the mug, but if you don't know about the mug, that is the mug for you. Please try and go and rest now. Like, go and have a good sleep. Your voice is sounding like cold or lacking of rest. Yes, it is lacking of rest because I'm tired already. That's why we didn't want to ask question today. So, but to the glory of God, we will be back tomorrow on the show. We will be back again tomorrow on the show. I want to show you something. Well, I don't know if I can get hold of it quickly. Okay, this is the one I want to show you. This one is the one that's thrilling me a lot. I love this one like Kilode. I love this one like Kilode. I don't know if you can say it properly. I love this one like Kilode. And the red there is probably Yoruba. Like the program, please. Thank you. Wow, you've even surprised me. You've passed what I'm looking for. I want to thank you all. I'm going to be calling today here. I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow by the grace of God, and I hope you will be back here tomorrow. If you haven't liked or followed us on Facebook, please do so. If you haven't subscribed to the channel here, please do so. And any other channels you're going to be watching any Yoruba agitation from. I love you, and God will bless you, protect you, keep you. And Ile Odua Madini Agbara Olorun. Odaro Kasulayo Kajilayo Kaba anu Ọlọ́run pàdé. Ó dàbọ̀. Ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́.
Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ jùmọ̀ kọ orin ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Àwa ni Ògo Adúláwọ̀.